Welcome to the Overstock Academy weekly podcast, where we talk about finding name brand store Overstock products and reselling them online. Places such as eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and even your own website. The Overstock industry is a $127 billion a year industry, and I show you how to get a piece of that just like I did before I sold my business. In a minute, I'm going to explain to you what the Overstock industry really is, how things work, and why it's so easy to make money. First, I'm going to explain how this podcast works. With the exception of this first week, I will release one episode a week each Monday. The format of the episodes will be more in the form of a training rather than just chit-chat. I will interview industry experts as well as other successful online sellers, but my favorite segment will be answering direct questions from listeners like you. At the end of this episode, I will tell you how you can send your questions in to me. I respect your time and I don't want to waste time with fillers and fluff. I think there's enough of that out there already. The fact that you chose to listen to me is proof that you want actionable information that can make a real difference in your business. At least that's what I would want. For each episode, I will provide a link to free guides and downloads related to the episode. This week's episode notes, as well as free guides and resources, can be found at overstockacademypodcast.com/101. If you find these podcasts helpful, you would be doing us a great favor if you could rate and review us. That helps us know how we are doing so well as how we can improve. Also, please share the podcast with someone else as well. Together, you and I can help someone else. If we do that, I'd say mission accomplished. At any time, you can email me with questions or comments, or even if you need something clarified, my direct email is amy@overstockacademy.com. I released the first 3 episodes at once because I wanted you to know right off the bat what this podcast is about, who I am, and how I came to be here talking to you. So make sure you subscribe because you really don't want to miss any episode. Here's what I'll cover. In episode 1, I'll have an overview of the Overstock industry and how it works. Episode 2 will be part 1 of my story, which is how I got fired on my day off and how my first business fell flat on its face. And episode 3 will be part 2 of my story, which is about how I accidentally stumbled into the Overstock business, how I came up with a kick-ass system that made over $500,000 a year, and how I later sold my business for a high 6 figures. It's a story that I don't normally tell. Even most of my family are probably going to hear it for the first time here. Sometimes I have to pinch myself to believe it actually happened. But I think it's a story that you need to hear, mostly because most times we see these gurus out there telling you how they made 6 to 7 figures, but you never hear the backstory. That's why people are misled to think that they can get rich overnight. Now, I'm not going to hold anything back. I will tell you like it is and help you avoid the expensive mistakes that I made, as well as the painful trial and error. So where do store Overstock products come from, and why will they never run out? You probably know this already, but basically, when stores like Walmart, Kohl's, and Macy's, and other stores just like them, have excess inventory, they liquidate them at amazing prices. Just to give you an example, I have bought TVs at between $45 and $50 and sold them online for over $250 each. I have bought high-end name brand bedding from Macy's at $25 and resold it online for between $150 and $180. I have also bought clothing items, pairs of jeans for $2 a piece, and I have resold them for between $40 and $50 online. So those are the profit margins we are talking about here. These products are only sold wholesale. They're not sold in individual pieces. So at Overstock Academy, we teach you how to set up to buy them and also the easy tactics I use to resell them on eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and even my own website. The items are sold in wholesale lots and can be from all types of categories, such as home goods, small kitchen appliances, cosmetics, lawn and garden accessories, clothing, electronics, and so on. Now here's a brief overview of how the whole thing works. The store sends the inventory back to the warehouses. The warehouses pack them up in wholesale lots in which you buy. They then ship the items to your location. You process, list, and you sell the items. The customers put money in your account and you ship the items to them. You then do the happy dance. You repeat the process again and again and again. Now, it's simply inevitable. Every single day, retailers and manufacturers accumulate huge volumes of unsold merchandise. This can range from customer returns to damaged goods to even excess inventory that was purchased and just simply never sold. Here's the problems that these retailers face when this happens. These products take up space in warehouses. They inflate the overhead cost. They age and lose demand, or the product just goes out of style. They also pose a risk of being damaged from being moved around or even stolen. They also lose value by the day from just sitting there. So what's the solution? Now, I'm sure you know that these multi-million-dollar retailers have teams of highly paid experts at their disposal. Here's the solution that they came up with. 1, they can sell the products fast at a fraction of the cost that they paid to recover part of their money. And yes, I said a fraction of what they paid. You see, they'd rather lose some of their money than all of it. Or they can write them off as a loss and simply just move on. Here's the advantage you hold. You buy the items at a fraction of the cost. There is always going to be a reliable supply. You're a smaller operation, so you have more flexibility. You have a ton of options as far as inventory that you can pick and choose from. If you buy right, you can sell fast. And with the system that I developed and I'll teach you, competition doesn't matter in this industry, and I'll explain that more in detail later. So once again, here's how I was able to build an amazing business as fast as I did, and why if you really want to explode your online business, you should take this industry seriously. There's a constant and reliable product supply. Like I mentioned, stores will always buy more products than they can actually sell. There's also simply no knockoffs or counterfeit products. And I have a story for you about a rookie mistake where I got scammed by a Chinese knockoff, and I'll tell you about that later on. You can easily compete with big retailers on quality and price because you are paying less than they paid for the items. You also buy from credible US-based suppliers, and the profits for these type of products are off the chart. So here's an example for you. Remember those TVs I talked about earlier? Let me quickly tell you that story. When I was starting out, I bought 50 pieces of 32-inch LED televisions for between $45 and $50 each. Now, upon researching online, they were selling at the time for between $180 and $300 a piece. Now, even though I bought them, I was skeptical. I thought for sure when I get them in and start going through them, surely I'm going to come across some type of problem or malfunction. But I was confident in the purchase itself since my due diligence system, which I'll teach you, had not failed me yet. But you know how sometimes your mind just doesn't shut up with the what ifs? Yeah, that's what I had going on. Was it a too good to be true type of deal? What if they are not what I thought they were? What if they were just all technical problems? I had also made purchases from this company before, so I was confident that the products would be profitable. To my surprise, when I got them in, they were all pretty much in excellent working condition. Some of the boxes and packaging was damaged, but overall they were almost perfect. Now, I sold them online for average about $250 each, and I think with that wholesale lot, I made between $8,000 and $9,000 after expenses. But better yet, I sold them all within 2 weeks of receiving them. Now, I have tons of examples like this one in many different categories, so don't think that you have to sell electronics in order to see these profit margins. I also have students from Overstock Academy who have these type of examples as well. Believe it or not, in this industry, these type of profit margins are the norm, not the exception. In fact, and like I show you at Overstock Academy, the minimum you should look for is to triple your money. And that is very possible because I did it time and time again. So when you're starting your online business, the first question you're probably asking yourself is, what on earth can I sell to make money, right? Well, like I said before, there's tons and tons of different products that you can sell and make a killing online at doing so. But there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. First of all, your products do not have to be brand new. A lot of people get wrapped up in this. They feel like they have to buy brand new products in order for them to make good profit margins, and that is simply not the case. Also, your products do not have to be a certain make or model. They do not have to be flawless. They also don't even have to include all of their accessories. You're just going to have to be flexible and keep an open mind with the products that are available to you. Some of the categories that you could buy for resale, just to name several, there's apparel, jewelry, footwear, cosmetics, toys, fashion accessories, furniture, electronics, both big and small, bed and bath items, outdoor products, sporting goods, tools, kitchen products. Kitchen is going to be anything from small appliances like blenders and toasters to major appliances like stoves, dishwashers, overhead microwaves. Now, basically, when you walk into a national big box store, whatever you see in that store can be bought in the Overstock market. In one way or another, all of it is available. So as promised, in the next episode, I will tell you the juicy story of how I got fired on my day off and how that led me on the journey to a six-figure income in a very short amount of time. I hope this show is beneficial to you. If it was, feel free to share it, and together you and I can help someone else. Also, please rate and review us on iTunes. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them in and we will get them answered for you. Again, my email address is amy@overstockacademy.com. Also note that for the benefit of other listeners, your question may be read out loud and answered in an upcoming show. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Those question and answer sessions are pure gold. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next episode.